Bonjour, I have returned. Je, j'ai returned. I don't know how to say returned. Okay, anyway, I'm back. Yeah. I'm back. For those of you that clicked this video, you might not know I just had a French lesson. So my head is in a daze a little bit. Also, it's very early in the morning for me. I've only had 5 hours of sleep, which is something I'm trying to improve. Matt Owl, you said I'm Italian, and even though I never studied French, I can read and fully understand it. I think that's fantastic, and I think once I've mastered somewhat French, I think it will be exciting for me to see what I can do with Spanish. Italian, I have zero interest in, but I didn't have interest in French either. But now, I think it was so awesome to go to France with my wife. You know, to take a trip with my wife. Because my wife doesn't like China and doesn't really like Korea. She's not interested in those countries. So she never comes with me on those trips. But it would be really nice to be able to go somewhere together. Because, frankly speaking, I really love my wife. And I would love to be able to travel with her. As much as I love Korea. And as much as I love China. Let me pop some, let's do some, give me a second. Let's get some of these comments down below here. I will pop out the shot. I'll pop out the cat. I'm going to pop out this cat right here. See if I can figure this out. Give me a second. This one? Yeah. Excuse me. I mean, there's not a lot of you guys here, so I'm not sure what sort of comments we're going to get. Zet Horse says, today I saw 2 Japanese people entering a cable car. The cable car I was on, but I was afraid to try and talk to them in Japanese. Look, we've all been there. I also still get very frightened to talk to people, despite my being very, you know, there's being an extrovert, like an outgoing person, and then there's being obnoxious. And some people that are extroverted are just obnoxious. They don't have the fear of interrupting you, so they just interrupt you. And frankly, it's happened to me where I'm walking in Korea or I'm walking in Japan and someone just randomly comes up to me and forces English in my face. It's like, you know what? You have zero couth, man. Like that, I don't know if that's the way to even use that, couth, but you have zero smoothness when you do that to a person. So Zet Horse, that fear, I think, makes you a good human being. If you didn't have that fear of how another person might react to you, I think you're not normal, and you're irritating. Honestly, I'm glad that you weren't afraid. I always think I want to do it, but when the chance occurs, I can't do it. Too afraid. Yeah, again, I get that. I kind of understand a little bit, not a lot. I understand social anxiety because I can grab onto that social anxiety sometimes. It's a weird situation, but when I'm going to McDonald's and I pull into the drive-thru and you have to make the order, there are very brief moments where right before I place the order, I'm like, how can I do this? Even though I'm totally outgoing. And normally with those McDonald's people, I totally get along. I'm always that guy that you think, oh man, like if you're sitting in the car next to me and you see me talk to people, you're like, do you know those people from like way back? You seem like really good friends. That's how I talk to people. But yet I still have a moment of, it's not all the time, just sometimes it's like, and then I start to understand people who say they have social anxiety because, man, it is paralyzing. The real problem is pronunciation. Yes. I've realized that even though French can't be any further from anything close to Japanese, it is close in the sense that they almost always end on a vowel sound or an un sound, which is what Japan does. Alphabet. What's up, George? Missed you last couple of days. I've been busy busting my ass off with Japanese. Good. I think I've shown what you can do in just 15 hours or 16 hours of study. I think that's where I'm at. If you count, you can count the time. You can count the time in between as hours, I guess, too. But I'm not 50 hours into French, and I'm feeling like I've learned a lot. I mean, last night I just busted out counting. I learned counting probably quicker than I learned it in Korean, for sure. And probably Chinese. Billy Caswell says, if all you wanted was a language you have no interest in, what made you pick French above all the rest? My heritage and the fact that I could bring my wife to France and she would enjoy it, and I could then use my French there. And I was also in France. Gosh, I must have been 20 something for 10 days, or it might have been more than 10 days, like 14 days. We were in France for what was I there for? Oh, a conference. I was there for a conference at the Nico Hotel. And I just remember French people were very rude to me in Paris. And I'm thinking now it would be cool to go back. I think French people are going to be even more friendly now. I think the internet has changed them. Back then there really wasn't internet, but I think the world's much more together now. I'm getting a vibe that even in Paris, people would be much more receptive. Plus also now that I'm learning French. And also my grandmother is French heritage. I'm French. I'm Tremblay. So I'm guessing that's a French name. So out of all of the languages that I don't care about, French was probably the one that I cared about the most, I guess. Italian I care about less. German I kind of interested in. The one language I really don't care about, amongst the languages that I don't know, that's a major language, is Arabic. I just really don't care at all about Arabic. But that doesn't mean I won't learn it, because I think there's a special thing that's happening with me in the French stuff. It's really amazing. I literally am recording every moment of me learning French. There is no moment, except for when I'm listening to the radio, there's no moment so far that I have not recorded. I've had problems where my sound wasn't good, you couldn't hear the teacher, you couldn't hear me, and those videos won't go up. But every time I've studied, it's on video. And every time I've even talked about my lesson afterwards, it's on video. So this is a complete documentation, unplanned documentation of me learning French. So you could literally do that thing where you make a montage of me learning French. I think that would be awesome. If I keep recording every single session, it's going to be amazing. Now, Andrew, I only don't like Arabic because of my impression of the Middle East. It really is completely based on what my impression of the Middle East. It's bad. It's a bad impression. Why? Because I'm American. Americans are brainwashed, I'm guessing, because I've never been there, I'm assuming. Because I don't think there's any country you can go to and think, this is bad, the people are horrible. I don't think any country is like that. But because of 9/11 and all of the things that our country has been so basically Muslim, it affects me. It affects my impression. I also hate religion. I hate religion so much that I don't want to go to a country that I perceive as very religious, because I don't want to deal with that. Even when I'm in Korea, they're 33% Christian, and I dread talking to people that are Christian. I just dread it. Because the minute they find out you don't believe in God, especially the Koreans, so far my experience has been, they've got to talk to you about God. Like, shut up. Please shut up. I do not care about your made-up story about the creation of this planet. I don't care. It's like imagine, you religious people, that every time you talk to me, I had to throw Harry Potter in your face. You don't understand. Hogwarts is the best school. It's amazing. But you're thinking it's not real. So it doesn't matter what words you attach to it, what logic, what feeling you felt, what amazing revelation you had about religion. It's all fake to me. So please don't talk to me about it. And then that's the problem, because I have such strong feelings for religion, and I know that the laws are different in some of the countries in the Middle East. Like in Dubai or somewhere, some guy got arrested for having a trace of marijuana on his shoe, that he probably walked in it, and he got sent to jail or exported or deported or whatever. I don't want to go to a country like that. Any country with super strict laws or super strict culture, I have zero interest in. I want completely free countries. I want countries that let you be a shitty person. I really want those kind of countries. So, even Germany. Like, Germany seems amazing. But because I could be in trouble for saying something about the Nazis, right? A joke about the Nazis, or, you know, I don't like those sensitive things. And even in America, we're so sensitive to what people say. I mean, honestly, we're a little bit too sensitive. I mean, I'm a pretty free soul in those things, and I'm not saying it as a brag point. It's just I've grown up. I grew up in Japan. My father wasn't married for a lot of the time. And the women that he did marry were really young, so they really couldn't fulfill the role of a mother. So I've kind of been by myself a lot. So I'm not used to these dumb rules. So I'm not cultured in that sense, right? I mean, the best mother I've ever had is my wife. Anyway, that's a weird thing to say, but my wife is the most mothering person I've ever had. So I've never been like reminded, don't curse or don't say this. But anyway. Arabic for me equals Muslim. It equals religion. Even like Turkey, which is supposed to be amazing, there's a lot of religion there. Like, I don't know how to talk to someone wearing what is it called? A hijab? What do they call those things that the Muslims wear on the head? Hijab? Jihab. Oh my God, I don't remember. Jihab or hijab? I might be wrong both. Anyway. I just hate religion. I just really am tired of religion. It's okay if you believe. I think it's okay if you believe, but then to base your entire life on this thing that we literally can't prove and the only thing you have is anecdotal evidence, it kills me. It kills me. Is it refreshing to have a Category 1 language since my previous languages are Category 5? You mean in level of difficulty? I don't know yet. I don't know yet because I'm used to the Category 5. It's true. I never thought about it this way, Lifeform. This is the first language where it's supposedly easy for me. But because I got used to no feminine, masculine, no articles, definite and indefinite articles, I gotta say, maybe French is hard for me because I have to adjust from languages that don't have that. Andrew says, I'm not against the Arab people. Neither am I. I just don't like how the language sounds. I don't know how the language sounds, but I know that when I start learning a language, I start falling in love with the language. So if I started learning Arabic, I would probably love how it sounds because of, and I would love the rules of the language. I love learning those rules. It just makes me feel smart. So it's a nice feeling. When a person says, and this is going to be a little bit about religion, but when a person attributes so many things to God, it kills me. Like, has the stream been weird for you guys? On my end, it keeps not playing out. Like, it looks like the quality is really bad, even though I'm streaming at max and I have no dropped frames. I'm not sure if the hijab, thank you, hijab. Okay. Sin says, yeah, I have had negative interactions with various religious people. Yes, Janice, or Janice as they call you, I'm sure. I am off on a rant again. And the funny thing is, two of my best friends are very religious. But the conversation often goes to religion, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. For me, I don't mind what people believe as long as they're happy and not hurting yourselves and themselves and others and not pushing it. Yes, that's the thing. Religion, the thing about religion is you have to push it. You have to do the gospel, right? That's, the people I know that are least pushy in Christian religions has been the Mormons. They've seemed to, even though they do Mormon missionary work, all of my Mormon friends never have pushed Mormonism on me. So it's been kind of nice. Andrew says, I went to Turkey several times. The people are so welcoming. That's good. Yeah, and I understand Turkey. Okay, Here's the thing about Turkey right now. I really don't like their president and the whole coup thing. It makes me feel like I'm going to another Trump country. And honestly, I said this before, but I will frickin' move to not France. I haven't broached this with my wife, and it would be too difficult, honestly, to move because I have a house and my daughters are all based here, and I'm an American citizen. But man, do I want to get out of this country. I just don't want to be here. Trump is so disappointing and dumb. I'm sorry. I know there'll be the comments down below that he's the best president we've ever had. And what about Hillary? But what an idiot. That's it. That's all I have to say. I'm sick of the news every day. It doesn't matter what he does. The next day you forget about it because he does something equally dumb. And I think he might be actually smart and he knows how to play the crowd, right? So he screws up with this meeting with Putin and then says, I meant to say wouldn't, not would, where all the other words around it meant would was the right word, but it just one word changes everything. No, it doesn't. But let's say that it did. And then he clarifies it, and then he again softens this blow on Russia. Not that Russia's that bad, I guess. What do I know? But still, our country seems to think Russia has an issue, right, with us. But everyone follows that loves Trump. They're like, well, it's good that we are. I'm sure I'm drinking the Kool-Aid too, whatever, according to my father. Politics is religion too because you blindly believe your candidate. I really don't want to be in this country anymore. If we re-elect Trump, all hope is lost. I've heard a lot of men say that about their wives, so it's not weird. I forgot what I said. What was I saying about my wife? That I love my wife? Will you get arrested in China for saying stuff against their government? I don't know. I don't like China for their policies. I don't like that if I'm in China, my internet will be restricted. That's why I went to Taiwan. I didn't go to China. I went to China in 2013. But I want to go back to China just because I have a friend there now and I'd like to hang out. That's it. And China is amazing, and I think the people are amazing. I think the country's amazing. And I think the government doesn't give its people enough due. Like, I feel like Chinese people would not rebel if they saw the internet. You know what I mean? Give them the full internet. Maybe they would. I don't know. I don't know all of the problems that China has. Is that her? Sometimes you say things that make me feel you're just trolly. Arabic sounds like a mixture of nuclear bombs and AK-47s. LOL indeed. Don't Mormons still go door to door? But yes, they do, Catboy, but that's because they're missionaries. I forgive them for when they're on their mission. When they're on their mission, yes. But they're not pushy in everyday life. Honestly, my friends that believe in God are not pushy. But I'm triggered every time someone says God bless or through the grace of God or I thank God that blah, blah, blah. I mean, he was just there for me. He wasn't there for you. He doesn't exist. It's in your mind. We are very amazing at imagining things. We hear a sound in the night and we have all these ideas of what that sound is and it's nothing. And that's what God is. He's that voice in our head. And I don't doubt that people believe it, really do believe it. Like, it is real to them. It really is real to them. Because I know that I can make things real for myself. Things that shouldn't be real are real. I have an entire alien visited me fantasy that now, sure, it could be true. It could be true that in my sleep paralysis moment, an alien did talk to me, which I do believe there was a voice there. Was it an alien? I don't know. But yeah, it's real to me. But I'm not arrogant enough to say I could be wrong. It could be completely different. And I've seen evidence where sleep paralysis causes things in the brain. They've put people in that exact state, and they believe they were visited in that state. But obviously, you can see they're in the office, in the doctor's office. Now, could it be a different plane, of a different dimension? Yeah. Okay. I would buy that. I do believe there's possibility of different dimensions. But I don't have the arrogance to say, I'm right. I know for a fact that what I learned. I know for a fact that coincidentally I was born to some parents that believed in this one story, and I coincidentally believed the same story. But I did my research. I studied extensively religion, and it turns out, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky I believed the same thing as my parents. Although I do have different views of my parents. So it's not exactly the same. So I did come up with an independent, exact religion as my parents. And no, if I was born in India, no, I would still believe exactly what I believe right now. Trust me. And if I was born in Israel, I wouldn't be Jewish. And if I wasn't born in a Muslim country, I wouldn't be Muslim. I would be exactly whatever denomination I am. Because God's word is true. No. If God's word was true, everybody would have the same religion. It wouldn't be so mixed up. And I'm reading a book right now. I should say listening to a book right now that just makes me hate religion even more. It's called The History of Religion, I think. It just shows how people, when you look at the lens of history, the lens of time, and you look back at religion, you see how it happened. You're like, wow. And it changes. It changes significantly from there was many gods to now there's one. You know, A Little History of Religion by Richard Holloway. I've got 6 hours left on this book. See, I hate religion, but I love the topic of religion. I think it's fascinating how we've invented religion. I remember my daughters, who were never exposed to religion, invented a god. They invented a god. And that leads me to believe there's a book called The God Part of the Brain, and I've heard him do interviews, but I probably should eventually read that book, but I just believe it's a natural thing for us to come up with a god. Because I still ask God for things. I still pray to a higher power, and I do not believe in the higher power, but I still hope. And I believe in the power of attraction, and I do believe there's a force in the universe that we could pray to, and it gives us things. I do believe that. Is it a God? No. I think it's just like magnetism or gravity. You know, it's just there, and we can somehow harness it. There. I'm not saying I'm not without belief. What is belief? It's believing something that you cannot prove. That's all that belief is. You have no proof of it, but you believe it. So I do have belief. I had a friend who thought dinosaurs were fake. Sigh. Yeah, I watched a video earlier this morning of a guy proving that the Earth was round. He went to a place in Canada where the road is like 140 kilometers straight. He put a sundial at both ends. He rode his bicycle for 140 kilometers, got to the other end, and then with his person on the phone at 12 o'clock or some certain exact time when the sun was supposedly, if the Earth is flat, the shadows would be exactly the same place on the ruler, but one couldn't be longer than the other. And then based on the length difference, he was able to calculate that the Earth was, number one, it proves that it's round, and he was able to with math, knowing that the angles and the distances, I think, yeah, he was able to predict, not predict, but calculate the size of the Earth. He was off by 17%, the size of the Earth, but that was due to him being wrong on the time. He got his time wrong. He did it at the wrong time. But within 17% is pretty good, actually, according to him. But either way, I'm thinking people still believe the Earth is flat. We believe anything. You could justify anything in your head. You know, people think Trump is for them. People think Trump cares about them for real, not that he's using them as a pawn to be president. He doesn't. He actually cares about the steel workers or whoever. People believe anything. Just say it enough and they'll believe it. I stopped watching the news because I hate hearing about him. Yeah, me too, honestly. And the thing is, I love the news. And I used to love the news where they would be like, today is a turning point. I think when we look back, it's going to be a turning point. This is where it all started going downhill for Trump. That's every day, and it doesn't go downhill. You know, every day there's these huge revelations about the Mueller investigation and other connections to Russia. And then you turn over to Fox, and they're talking about the gold found on this sunken Russian ship. And they're talking, and literally, this whole thing blew up with Russia, and I went to Fox News just to see what they were talking about. Every news organization and everyone around the world seemed to be talking about how Trump is completely Putin's poodle. There was like a news, I think some newspaper in either French or English in England was like French, Putin's poodle. That's what they were calling Trump. And it was big news. And then you go over to Fox News, or literally fake news. I swear to God, if any news is fake, it's got to be Fox. Because they said Senate confirmation hearing for the next Supreme Court judge brings back Hillary Clinton and Obama something. I'm like, really? So every time something bad happens about Trump, the one go-to thing that they do on fake news, Fox News, is talk about Hillary again. That's it. That's what they do. What about Hillary? Hillary and Obama. It turns out Obama did this. It turns out, and it's just fucking stupid, you know. And look, I am not completely lost. When I watch MSNBC, I see how they're biased. I see how they give Trump way too much trouble when he should. There are times where they're critical when they shouldn't be. Not all the time, but sometimes. Anyway. Andrew, I've had sleep paralysis. There's nothing spiritual about it. For you, there wasn't. For me, sleep paralysis becomes either there's an alien talking to me or the devil, and I don't know which one it is. Whatever my brain has concocted, there is a presence there when I have sleep paralysis. Religion gives people a sense of comfort and hope. Yes, but let me say something that's going to really upset some people. It gives weak-minded people a sense of comfort and hope. I feel. A lot of people that believe in religion don't have a sense of self. So they overlay a bigger story. They become a puppet in a powerful entity's world. They become a part of that world. That's what I feel. I feel that was a very bad thing to say, honestly. But it's an overall stereotype that I have. Many of my very religious friends, I feel, don't have massive confidence. They need God. God gives them that. Yeah, it gives them a sense of hope, I guess, there. The craziest thing is it's harder to convince people that God is real. Well, look, they've shown in studies, the more you try to convince somebody of something, the more they believe the thing you're trying to not convince them. The thing that you're trying to get them out of believing. They cling, right, was the word that Obama used. They cling to their guns and religion, right? But that's what it is. Like, I know, I also fight. You will never convince me there's a God unless you show me really good proof. Then I'll be like, huh. I love it when that voice comes out. What voice, Janice? What voice? Hopefully paralysis is temporal. I didn't hear about permanent palsy situations. Okay. I've heard that argument too many times. I don't know what argument. I wasn't paying attention. By the way, I don't think that God with a capital G exists. That would be too dumb to be true. I do believe that God exists. do. I do believe that a God exists, do. Since nothing generates from nothing, so something is something. The lack of understanding how our universe created doesn't prove that something created it. That's the thing. I think the truest answer about religion is we don't know. We just don't know. We know some of what happened based on science and observation and guesses based on, this is this, this is this, and then maybe this gap here that we don't know probably is this. And have we been wrong in the past? Yes. But have we gotten more and more correct? Yes. Have we proven some things over and over again through different methods? Yes. Like, is the earth round? Yes. Yes. Although apparently 1 in 10 Americans, and I this can't be unique to America, that I know every country likes to think they have some of the stupidest people. But it's got to be the same. There's got to be ignorant people in every country. I can't imagine it's just America. But you can show some people all the proof in the world and they won't believe it. So why even try? Zethorst, you're actually wrong. Religion said Earth is flat. Scientists proved Earth is round. There's a guy named Adam Conover that has a show called Adam Ruins Everything, and he actually talked about this. The guy that first proved, I think it was Copernicus, I don't remember, that the Earth is round, was actually funded by the church, and the church took his studies, or I think it was him that said the Earth was not at the center of the universe, or whatever. The religion initially was always pro science, and then it changed somewhere midway through. I don't know all of the history, but you can't just flat say religion was, anti-science. It's not always been the case. A lot of scientific discovery came from the church funding things. The church definitely has had a positive influence in some cases. In the very first stages of civilization, when humans relied on agriculture and hunting, they had gods which controlled the elements because that's what humans were worrying about. The humans created bigger, more civilized societies and started wondering what is the meaning of life and what happens after death. And that's the purpose of our actual God, giving answers. Yeah. Yep. It's just a way to quell the huge the lack of understanding. Right. Like I said, my daughters created their own, they call them Tensama, I think is what they called him, which is Mr. Sky. They created a god in the heaven. I don't know how they got that. I don't know if there was a influence outside, but I certainly never taught them about God. And by the way, I told my daughters the reason why you don't believe God is because I don't believe God. So the reason why people believe in God is because their parents believed in God. 90% of the time, that's the case. My belief in God was from my father. My father was Catholic. I believed in God because of my father. Then when I was 9, I went to Georgia and I got baptized in a Baptist church, and my belief in God strengthened completely at age 9. And then I sorted it all out in Japan when I was trying to figure out. I think I was so confused as to why there were so many stories of God, which one was right. And I was dating this Japanese girl who was she was Baptist, and we would go to church together. But I met her parents, and they were so great. How could such great people go to hell just because they had been introduced to God by their daughter and they rejected it, right? They're just great, hardworking, loving people. I even went to see them the other day. 20 years after not dating their daughter, they still welcomed me. They're just great people. They're going to hell? That doesn't make sense. And that's what some religions say. So that's where I started that opened the door for me to start questioning religion. And, I hate religion. There is no God. There might be something, but it's not the God we've invented, is my opinion. You can start downvoting this channel every moment of every day. Society has evolved since then, so less and less people care about religion. Ishida-san, is there such a thing as a politician that cares about the people? I think there is. I honestly felt like Obama cared. I actually felt like he cared. At least he had that air. Trump, I do not feel like he cares. He says literally the opposite of what he's thinking every time. And I mean, come on, man. Is not Trump obviously something is happening between him and Russia? This guy criticizes everybody but Russia. He bends backwards to be nice to Russia. What does Putin have on him? He's the Manchurian candidate for sure. He's completely owned by Russia. I come to YouTube to run away from the news. I'm sorry, Alphabet. This is why I watch Pew News. Gloria Berger here. Prepare to lose a ton of subscribers. Please leave. If you can't handle a discussion of religion, if you can't handle someone questioning your faith is BS. So strengthen your faith based on this asshole. Please. Get stronger. It is weak-minded. Is it weak-minded or just people looking to explain the origins of a world with a lot of unanswerable questions? I think there's Catboy. I would say it's like, yeah, but some people are definitely weak-minded. And there's a hole in their, not a hole in their brain. There's something missing in their psyche, and it gets filled with religion. For example, for me, look, like I only know me. I only know my personality. I don't have that missing part of my psyche. I fill it with myself. Like, I am accomplished. I am continuing to learn new things. I have no regrets. I die tomorrow. I have no regrets. I pushed my life pretty dang good, right? I have family. I have loving daughters. I have a relationship with my father. Not so much with my mother, but I would like to. I don't have these huge depravities. Like, I'm pretty good. Pretty good. I don't need religion to make me feel good. I feel good naturally. Coffee is my God. Do I have moments of despair? Yes. But what do I do in those moments? I dig into myself. I dig deep into myself. I analyze. I think about the world and without a God. But I think about, what does it all mean? Why are we here? I have all of those same questions, but I don't just answer it with a blanket all, God works in mysterious ways. There's a book called The Case for Christ. Basically, all he does is research. He does all this research on it all. It's interesting, I suppose. Arabic, I think, is harder than the Asian languages, because the Asian languages don't have genders and cases, but Arabic has genders like French and cases, and has difficult pronunciation, grammar, etc. Oh my God, it's all of those things. Tucker Carlson on Fox called out the hysteria over Syria and went against Trump. He said Trump shouldn't have bombed, while Rachel Maddow and MSNBC supported it. So honestly, they even called him out. There are moments where Fox is honest. They called him out on the Putin thing, right? And there are moments where MSNBC is honest in the other direction, where there have been pundits that say what Trump is doing on trade is right. The people that say that. I am not sure if what he's doing is right. I actually don't know. But maybe. I think it was good for him to do the tax thing, the tax cut thing, right? I also think we need to make it much harder to get assistance from the government. You know, we need to have those programs, absolutely. But we've got to be diligent in these lazy people. There are definitely lazy people that abuse the system. That irks me more than anything. This system of welfare should be for people that really need it. And maybe it should even give them more. You know, it's for people that literally cannot work. I don't want to go down this discussion path because I don't have enough information on it. Religion from Zero, written by George Trombley and Sarah Dunlap. Proof of God's existence included, only $59.99. I once asked Sarah, now Sarah's going to hate that I'm talking about her in this note, but in the very early stages of our friendship, where the discussion of religion was very hot and heavy, I said, what's your proof of God? She said she could prove God to me. And she sent me a video that proved God to me. But all it was a video talking about how powerful the sun was and how many lightning strikes hit the earth in a certain amount of time and the power of those lightning strikes. And that is proof of the power of God. That's all they said. It was like, the sun puts out 4 trillion billion kilowatts of power. This much electricity through lightning hits the earth every minute of every day. This is proof of God's power. No, it's proof that humans have measured the output of the sun. It has nothing to do with God. Literally no proof of God there. Melanie, I love you. You know I love you, right, Melanie? Like I every comment you ever make, I agree with. And whenever I go to Germany, I want to hang out because I love you as a human. You seem really chill. Religious people are so annoying, always trying to convince you that there's a God. But honestly, I'm just as annoying trying to convince you there isn't one, right? I never met a fellow atheist going from door to door trying to tell people there isn't a God. Maybe we need that. But yeah, Melanie, if I go to Germany, hang out with me, yeah? Show me Germany. I would love that. Andrew, the church funded what would later disprove religion. Yes. Copernico, am I saying the name wrong? Said the earth was not the center of the solar system. And I think it was the Catholic Church. They taught that. They loved that. They funded that. It was later on, and I forgot how it changed, but watch that show. It's Adam Ruins Everything. It's a fantastic series. There's so many things that we have wrong in history, and he kind of fixes it. I do admit the current Pope is awesome. The current Pope actually cares. He cares. Look, 1 in 10 Americans believe the earth is flat. Why is that so hard to believe? Almost 5 in 10 voted for Trump. After Obama. After hope, we brought in no hope. A lot of people with really religious parents become fully atheist. I don't disagree with that. But the ones that are religious, how many atheist parents' children become religious? That's got to be a lot less, right? It makes sense to become atheist because that's the truth. You can only believe in Santa Claus so long. You can only believe in the Tooth Fairy so long. I don't get how people, they're taught Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus and God. And then 2 of them, their parents eventually tell them aren't real. And the boogeyman, right? None of that's real. But this one, for some reason remains real. And of course, the fact that the people that believe in God, that have their specific belief in religion, look at other people's religion and say, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Why would they believe that? Yet they're sitting in, why would they sit in that blue goo? Oh my God, why would people sit in blue mud? It's disgusting. Green mud's obviously better. I'm sitting in a different color of mud. It's really not true. Trump dispels Russian diplomats. He did not dispel the Russian diplomats. Congress dispelled them, and he couldn't. He had to sign it because they could have vetoed it. There's no way he signed that. When Trump wants to do something, he does a big signing ceremony. This one he just signed because he had no options. They had a veto-proof majority when they did that. Shay, I feel like you're pro-Russian. He's also in the... Okay, maybe not. He is friendly to Russia every moment of every day, except when he has to show that he's not, to prove that he's not. He has to have the appearance that he's not, because it's so obvious that he is. I'm in no way a Trump supporter, but most of the Russia narrative goes nowhere, and there are much bigger problems, I guess. Can anyone suggest a website where I find Japanese? Yes. Mad Owl, italki.com. italki.com is 1,000,000,000% what you want. I have been using italki. You have to pay for it. It's not free. But Japanese teachers and Japanese natives to Skype, absolutely. They have community tutors and they have teachers. They all cost money, but it is completely worth it. Go to this channel that you're on right now, Polyglot George, and look up the word Kurumi, Kurumi. She's my recommended community tutor. She's the one that I've been using. Look her up. She's amazing. She's fantastic. And if you click the link down below, there is a link to a $10 discount coupon. You get $10 off on your first italki lesson. Okay? And I also get $10 if you sign up for it. So I appreciate that. That's my only sponsorship with italki. They don't actually know who I am. But I wholeheartedly say italki. The other one, the free alternative, is HelloTalk, an app where you can talk to natives, but not teachers, most likely. I think we need some Sniper Elite 4. Maybe later. I should stop streaming, take a break, go eat, go back to bed. My English teacher would go on long rants in class about getting educated when voting. Check multiple sources, outside sources that give the news, not their thoughts and ideas on the news. True. One election cycle, I actually researched all the candidates. And I had marked off some Republicans that I was going to vote for and some Democrats I was going to vote for. And I can't remember what election it was. But when I got to the poll, I was like, screw it. It's all Democrat because I don't want any of these Republicans to have the power. Because whoever was running for president at the time, I didn't want to be president. And I didn't want to give them the power. It might have been the Obama election, the first one. So, even though I researched, I still went with my ticket of all Democrat. So, I'm guilty of being that guy. My dad hates that I do that. But he does the same thing. Didn't you used to support Bernie who wanted to raise taxes? LOL. Yes, I did. I'm happy that my taxes got lower, but yeah, I supported Bernie. I sent him $400 or $500. But I'll be honest with you. I don't want that either. I really don't want that. But I liked Bernie. He would have never been able to pass all those things, but I liked Bernie. Way more than I liked Clinton. There's no perfect politician. It's going to be shit, no matter who you get in there. The Bible was actually debunked by Bart Ehrman. I think the Bible is debunked by a lot of people. Everyone that doesn't believe it has debunked it in their head somehow. If Arabic idols would have idols like AKB48, they could be called GH. I like that. Honestly, I'd probably like them more if they had their sexy girls out there. Oh, whoa, wants Melanie. Does that mean I want Melanie? No, I want to hang out with Melanie. She seems really cool. Now I need a cool French friend besides my teacher. Yeah, Arabic style K-pop. That'd be awesome. Yes, tax all religions. I actually agree on that. What places would live outside Las Vegas? You're missing a pronoun? Maybe you'll like a place that has no politics like Switzerland, Iceland, or New Zealand. Yeah, they have no politics? Yes. I love politics, but I'd rather not be into it. I don't want to hear about America. I think no matter where you go, you're going to hear about American politics, and I know even Japanese politics is crap. I mean, every country is going to have their politics, for sure. Melanie says, sure, let me know in advance. I'll take some days off so we can chill. I will have to travel to Germany, though, since I live in London. You live in London? First of all, I love London. London is my favorite non-Asian city right now. I freaking love London. All right. Kenneth Copeland brought a freaking jet. Yeah, I saw that guy. George, by watching your older videos and live streams, I realized that your statements were different before and think it looks like you change them often. Yes, I do, depending on it. Zethorse, this is the reality of people, yeah? My opinion changed based on the day, how I'm feeling, if I ate recently. Sometimes I'm very forgiving of religion, and other days I hate religion. It just depends on what happened recently. That's how people are. They've proven that. Like even judges if you're getting if you're in court, if they're hungry, they send out harsher judgments. I haven't eaten yet. I'm probably pretty harsh because of that. Did you played is wrong English. Did you play Japanese games? I know it makes sense to say played in the past tense. You could say you played Japanese games. You could say that, but did makes it past tense, so you can't have the D on the end or the ED. Did you play Japanese games when you were learning Japanese? Yes, but there was no voice in games back then, except for like yatta in Street Fighter. There wasn't a lot of voice. It was all katakana stuff, like playing on the Super Nintendo. My brother went to London. It's a super fun city. Yes. I love English people. Their cynical style, I mesh with English people. I love English people. Yes, Arisa made her own channel. If you would like to subscribe, she has 0 videos. So far, no videos. It's learnfz.com/AFZ. I made a quick link to get to her channel. She's got already 120 some subscribers, even though she has 0 video, because I keep promoting it. And she did a live stream the other day. Here it is. This is it right here. She just has her Air Jam beads and 127 subscribers. That's it. Fantastic. And she's eating a Snickers here. She felt like she ate that Snickers better than anybody. That's what she felt like. So, subscribe now. And maybe, eventually, there will be content on this channel. What will it be? I don't know. Will it be high quality? Certainly not. But Arisa can edit videos. So, I know she was working on something to put up there. But, yeah, she's still not dedicated to building a channel. So, I wouldn't expect too much from it. But if you guys give her ideas and or support, and encouragement, I think she could get into it. And then, because she's got a pretty fun personality, so I do think she would eventually be interesting to watch. And I 100% think she could completely surpass all of my channels in numbers very quick, because she's young, cute, and fun. And you can see right now, Japanese from 0, almost 100,000. Very close. Making some effort. Tissue Box channel catching up. Almost have as many subscribers as I have videos on Japanese from 0. Very exciting. What were my favorite games on the SNES? Moon Patrol was a really fun one. I really loved Moon Patrol. What else did I like? Mario Mario is my absolute favorite game all time for any platform. I don't know. Don't know if she's gonna ever release anybody else. We'll see. May I share my funny mistake while I was learning Japanese? I thought Daijobu was written Daijob, and that means big job or good job. It doesn't mean good job ever, by the way. It also really doesn't mean big job. I can see where you think that. Daijob. I've never heard of Daijob. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Hey, that's what I was saying, Andrew. She will have more subs, the JFZ. I know you wanted to make a Gup channel. Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. I kind of thought... Gup's right back here. I kind of thought, why did I make Tissue Box channel? It should have been Gup channel. Gup should have been the channel. But it's too late now. I don't want to do it now. It would have been more interesting to bring Gup around the world. But then he's glass. Tissue Box is easier. I could buy a Tissue Box anywhere. So I'm not going to do that. Too much work. How can we give her ideas? I don't know. You got me, man. Whenever she's on, whenever she visits the stream here. Super NES games. Alright, guys. I guess I'll leave when I'm at my top here. Where did my... Oh, here it is. How did this get down here? Anyway, I think that's all I had to say. I can't find the video which you reviewed the entries for Book 5 private class, those 5 students. I took it down. It's not necessary anymore. It's gone. Because we're already in the middle of that class. Denaide kudasai. Don't go out. Don't go out. It's ikanaide kudasai. Don't go. Denaide means don't. You're thinking that does mean leave sometimes, but not here. But I have to, guys. Sorry. I'm tired. I need food. And Ima dereba nanji mo kairanai de yo. Nanji mo? Are you trying to say itsumo? I know that nanji sometimes translates to itsu in the kanji. Ima dereba, if you leave, if you go out, itsumo kairanai de yo. Don't always return. Kairanai de in that sense means don't return. So you don't want me to come back. And also you need to learn the verb modoru. Modoru means to come back. Kairu means to go back to your original place. Modoru is to return back to another point. Kairu is more like go home. More than return. Yes, I did watch the show where Conan learns Korean. I gotta go, guys. I love you all. I love you all. Thank you for watching. Nazuge bayo. Au revoir. Mata kondo ne. Oh, this ear just stopped listening. This ear just, no, I lost all hearing in this ear. Massive ringing. I'm deaf now. Thank you. That's because we did this stream way too long. See you next time. Au revoir.